When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you're in the championship rounds with King of Essex. So let's get to it. A quick fight recap. At the time of this recording, Clara Lescurat defended her WBA Super Flyweight division titles against Linn Sandstrom out of Australia. Dominant defense. And in discussing this with some of my boxing family, um, the division is not getting a fair look. And I got to be honest, because there's only a few big names. And so these are the times. I happen to think this does happen in the men's side of things as well. The lower divisions just don't get the love. So while we may be impressed with Lescurat in this her fourth or fifth title defense, she's now 11-0. The problem becomes where or who has the big fights available. You can't fight in Argentina and Australia and these kind of smaller markets forever. So again, I'm going to keep banging the drum for either Shannon Ryan or Jasmine Artiga. All right. But speaking of Shannon Ryan, all right, she is already scheduled for action. I don't think she needs no help, as is often the case with our UK fighters, period, men or women. She's in there next against Emma Dolan. They're both undefeated. Ryan is 7-0. Dolan is 6-0. Now, Emma Dolan's most significant win is over their compatriot, Nicola, what's my girl's name? Nicola Hopewell. And honestly, the more qualitative win for me is Shannon Ryan's win over Jasmine Zaptakana. Yeah, so both of those wins for each fighter or over undefeated fighters, but I just like the win over Zaptakana, a little bit more seasoned than Hopewell. So none of that can say what will happen when the bout actually occurs. But again, I guess that means that I'm leaning more towards Ryan. Again, Ryan doesn't have any stoppages, so we know that she appears to be quite of a puncher. She likes throwing punches, and they seem pretty solid, but she's never stopped anybody. So I hope she doesn't go in there looking for a knockout. Just box, 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 and get the win. All right. Now, that's pretty much Turkey Al-Sheikh, who's been making big waves, announcing big fights that we want to see. He was asked a question. He held a Q&A session. I think this is according to No Smoke Boxing. He did mention that Amanda Serrano will be in Saudi Arabia. I didn't get so excited because all I said was, okay, it's no more big fights on the table for Serrano after the Taylor. Well, let me not say. I'm not sure how many big fights, as far as boxing, Serrano will be interested in after this bout with Taylor, especially since it's going to be record-breaking purses for both fighters. Now, what I was thinking was, it's going to be a PFL affair. So, yeah, we're not going to see Serrano maybe boxing in Saudi. We're going to see Serrano doing some MMA in Saudi. And it is what it is, all right? Speaking of what it is a lot of fight week action this week. So I'm just going to jump right in, all right? In no particular order, but of course, starting with Friday night. This is an introductory both for the fighters into the world of boxing. I'm talking about on the most valuable promotions card out of Orlando. What's Shorty's name? Natalie No Love Dove. She is 1-0 out of Philly, fighting against Alicia Lopez, who's making her professional debut. So you got to tune in just to see these fighters make their bones again, find out who they are today. Maybe, just maybe, that reputation will sustain in the future. These ladies are flyweight contenders, and so pay attention to them, flyweight division, and this card. Moving on to Saturday, we got some more substantial action. Olivia Curry, you might remember that name. Mildly attractive. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I got to say something because those are the things that make us appeal to women's boxing. So, Olivia Curry, easy on the eyes, man. She had a hell of a fight, which was very easy on the eyes against Shadeja Green, although she lost. I'm talking about the 7-2 Curry out of Chicago, Illinois, is fighting against Melody Papowick. I don't know, but just getting back acclimated. So tune into it. I'm not sure who is on the main event of that card, but it's in Miami, Florida. So we got some action in Florida this weekend. All right. Tune into it. This action on the other side of the world from somebody, I got to take a few shots at her. Okay. I'm talking about Hyun Choi. She is the often evasive title holder. Can't call her a champion. She's never really fought anybody, and her best win that anybody could ever recognize is over a not best version of herself, Vanessa Bradford. All right. So her nickname is Defector Girl Boxer, but I'd like to call her Queen of the Duck Sauce because she was holding up the super featherweight division with her bullshit. But she's making a title defense against a very credible opponent. Can I be real? Depends on how this one goes. She's fighting Jessica the Cobra Camara out of Canada. Um, Camara doesn't necessarily have any big wins, but I think she just has better wins over equal opposition. So in other words, whenever Camara was in there with an opponent, when I say equal opposition, they were both 6-1 or 6-0. They were both 7-0, 12 or whatever. So they're both holding good records. Whereas Hyun Choi, she's just fighting, her fellow compatriots who have no world class history or ability. It's different when you talk about Canada. Fighters can go across the border and network, and Canada has its own incubation of talent. Maybe not as big, but certainly bigger than fucking Korea. I know that for sure. So with that being said, hopefully Camara can take this girl's belt and just, the girl says she's from South Korea. She holding on to the fucking belt like a North Korean. God damn, you know. But I'm going to tune into it. I'm not sure what outfit it's on, but it's on pay-per-view. All right. Also, this is a championship action, of course, on the championship rounds. Marlen Esparza, finally, and yes, she is Queen of Duck Sauce herself, because she refused to give Gabriela Celeste Alaniz, La Chucky, refused to give her a rematch. La Chucky's only loss is to Esparza. And for those that think Esparza's loss to Estrada was controversial, well, hell, Alanez's loss to Esparza was very controversial. And to make clarity in that super bantamweight division, yeah, man. Or what is it? The junior bantamweight, wherever Gabriela Fundora and them is at. That's where the clarity is needed. And Esparza's got 3 titles: WBA, WBO, and a WBC. So, a lot of good things happening right there. Last but not least, I've been talking about it for weeks, and it's finally happening. The lightweight division bout between Beatriz the Beast Ferreria versus Yanina del Carmen Lescano out of Argentina. Now, Ferreira is definitely an Olympic world-class champion and a phenom, 4-2 with 2 knockouts. However, Lescano is the more experienced fighter. She's been in there against Caroline Dubois and Estella Mosley, formerly Yoka. So, Lescano is the more experienced fighter, but at least at the professional ranks, maybe that does count for something. You see, it almost counted for Karen Carvajal a few weeks ago, but yeah, this should be a very, very entertaining bout. So I think that's all we got for the weekend. That's all we got for the news and notes. And if anybody hears something, you'll be sure to hear it from me. It'll be in the news cycle sooner or later. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to drop a like, share this one, and I'll be back soon. All right, peace.